Have you ever looked at your own CV and thought, it just doesn't look right, but I can't put my finger on why? Here's the truth: schools make snap decisions. Before they've even read your words, they've judged your CV by how it looks. Now, I know many schools say they don't want TAs to send in a CV when directly applying for a TA role. They just want you to fill in their application form. But a CV is very useful to give to employment agencies. So a CV is an important asset and you need to get it right. Judging your CV just by how it looks at first glance is not unfair because presentation is communication. A cluttered layout says, I'm disorganised. A clean, confident layout says, I'm ready to belong in your school. In this video, I'll show you the exact layout that schools love, what to ditch immediately, and a few design secrets that make your CV look polished, professional, and school ready. But first, this is a reminder to ask for the free PDF that accompanies this course, because apart from direct links to each video, it also gives you bonus material not included in the videos. So just type free PDF please in the comments and I will give you the link. Okay, what schools actually want to see at a glance. So think of a head teacher or office manager scanning 50 applications in one evening. They're not reading, they're skimming. So your layout has to tell a story without a single sentence being read. Here's what they want to spot instantly: your name and contact info clearly at the top, not hidden in a header that disappears when they print. So make sure you've got things positioned, your text positioned correctly on the page. A short personal profile that summarises who you are and what you bring. Education and training that's relevant. Experience laid out cleanly with school names, roles, and dates aligned. No messy bullet points everywhere. Key skills or specialisms that match the job advert. So things like one-to-one, SEND support, phonics, or behaviour. If they can find all of that in 10 seconds, you've already made their job easier. And that makes you look competent before they've even read your words. Now, the perfect TA CV layout and what to leave out. So let's break down the structure that works every time. So your header, your name in bold, larger font, possibly your phone number and email and town or city. I think if you just have your name and your email, that's enough personally. Your personal profile under that, which is about 4 to 5 lines, focused on your values, strengths, and suitability for the role. So not a life story, and make sure it's very relevant to the for the job that you're applying for. Key skills section. Use 5 to 7 bullet points tailored to the advert. Experience. Start with your most recent. Use concise bullet points that show impact. We've talked about that in video 3. So you could say, supported a child with speech delay to use communication cards independently, or delivered targeted interventions in small groups, improving reading fluency. And your education and training, only relevant courses, not every certificate you've ever earned. So less is more. Make it relevant. And for your references, it's perfectly acceptable to put available on request. So you're not putting those on your CV because they may change. So just put available on request. And what to leave out: personal photos, full addresses, long lists of hobbies, fancy fonts or borders. Schools print in black and white. So keep it simple, school appropriate, and scannable. So let's now look at how to use formatting, keywords, and white space strategically. So here's where your CV goes from good to professional. Formatting. Use one easy to read font like Arial, Calibri, or Verdana. Keep margins wide. Your CV needs breathing room. And use bold for section titles, not for every other word. Keywords. Look back at the job advert. Pick out phrases like inclusive practice, supporting learning, or safeguarding, and use those naturally through your profile and experience. It helps both human readers and any applicant tracking software that they might be using. Particularly agencies could well be using that. White space. Don't fear empty space. It draws attention to what matters most. Crowded text says, I'm unsure what's important, so I'm just going to throw everything in. White space says, I'm confident and clear. So you know what information is necessary, and that's what you're going to put, nothing extra. So here I've got two images now. Let me say these were generated by my Dorothy, my AI assistant, and so the text is not what's important. It's just the look of it. So on the right is a cluttered, dense CV. On the left is the same content but rearranged using the formula we've just talked about. And the difference, the first one breathes. The reader instantly knows who you are, what you offer, and how to contact you. And suddenly, your CV doesn't just look better, it feels like the person it's about is worth inviting to interview. And imagine, if you're a school that, quickly needs a new member of staff and they've gone to an agency and they've got the CVs and they're, somebody's just sitting there with a glass of wine in the evening looking through, 25, 50 of them, and they see the cluttered ones, it must feel like, oh, I can't even, it's painful to even look. So it's the ones that have got relevant information that are not cluttered, there's a bit of white space, there's room to breathe. They are the ones that are going to draw attention. When you redesign your CV using this layout, you'll go from my CV looks amateur to this looks like it was designed by someone who belongs in a school. And that's exactly the impression you want to make before you've even stepped into the interview. Your application, so whether it's an application form or whether it's, your hands are a bit tied with an application form. You've got what you've got. You have to put in relevant information, but the sort of formatting is already there. But with your CV, it's your one chance to make a good impression. You don't want the teacher to be putting, the head teacher to be putting your CV to one side because it looks cluttered. So, make sure it's presented really nicely so that they feel like, oh, okay, I've got the information I need. It's not cluttered. This person looks like, they would be worth having for interview. Okay, in video 5, we will look at how to use references, email etiquette, and follow-ups to get noticed. I look forward to seeing you there.